Well, good morning, my scattered brothers and sisters. And don't know where you might be today, but trusting wherever you find yourself, you know that the Lord is with you and the Lord is watching over. Been thinking more about John chapter 1, verses 4 and 5. In him, in Jesus, was life, and that light was the light of men, or depending on your translation, that light was the light of all people. And the light shines in the darkness, but the darkness did not overcome it. The darkness did not understand it. The darkness did not get it. And that last word is a pretty interesting word. In Greek, the word is katalambano. Lambano means to take or to receive, and then when you put the kata prefix on it, it has the idea of kind of taking down. And so we might think about it in terms of taking down, understanding something. You're taking down notes, you're taking down a lesson, and you're kind of getting it. But we also might think about it in terms of taking something down, that you're taking it down, that you're conquering it, that you're removing it as an obstacle to you. And so that's the word that John uses when he talks about the light shining in the darkness. And the darkness cannot take it down, cannot get it, cannot understand it or comprehend it. But also, the darkness cannot extinguish the light. The darkness cannot take it down in victory. The light is victorious. And so, just thinking more about that, in Jesus was this life, and the life was the light of people. And I kind of think in terms of two types of people, that there are pulse people, people that are kind of alive, but not really alive. They just have a pulse. And we live around lots of pulse people, not really having any kind of life within them. And then there's Jesus. And Jesus had life in him. And that life was the life of the Father. That life was the life that comes out of his relationship with the Father. And so Jesus is this source of life and has this quality of life about him in really a world of just pulse people. Jesus was way more than a heartbeat. And so in him was this life, and this life was light. Everybody began to see themselves differently because of the life that was in Jesus and to understand their lives differently. And some people tried to, uh, obviously, tried to extinguish that life and that light that was in him. And they crucified him. But other people started to get it. They started to follow and they started to receive the life that Jesus has for them. Jesus' life was light for understanding themselves and especially for understanding God. And that light shines in the darkness. That light shines in a simply pulse people world. That light shines in a world that simply uh, is is dead. And here is Jesus, that light shining, and the darkness, Catalambano, does not get it, does not take him down, does not extinguish him. And you and I'm trusting, have come to Jesus and have accepted the invitation and have that life in us that Jesus had. He has given it to us and made a way for us to be part of his fellowship, communion with the Father through the Holy Spirit. And so in many ways we're in the same position. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness simply doesn't get the life that we have, doesn't get the life that we're trying to live. And that can be pretty frustrating at times, to be so misunderstood. And at the same time, not only does the darkness not get it, but the darkness would like to extinguish it. And you may be in such a dark place that it feels like not only do people not get you, but people would like to snuff the light out that you have and snuff out the life that Jesus has given you. And so I pray for you today that in the midst of a place of darkness, that the life of Jesus would continue to be a light for you, and that you would continue to receive that life and live that life knowing that no matter how dark it might be around you, the darkness is actually powerless to extinguish the light and the light of Jesus and the life and the light that you have in Jesus. So go forward this day in confidence that the darkness is actually defeated. God bless and have a great day.